Alright, guys, so I did a recap of the NFL draft, the first round of the 2021 season, or NFL draft. And now, this video is going to be strictly about the quarterbacks. I'm going to predict to you guys who's going to be the most successful one out of these five. Alright, who's going to be the worst? Who's going to be, well, obviously the worst would be a bust. Who's going to make Pro Bowls? Who's most likely going to win a championship first? And all that good stuff. Right, without further ado, so this is first and goal. All right, so if you guys watched the previous video, you guys would have seen that I spoke about Trevor Lawrence going number one, how much of an impact that it has along right there. We're gonna talk about his weapons in just a little bit. His pick number 2 was Zach Wilson going to the New York Jets. Pick number 3 was Trey Lance. So you have picks 1, 2, and 3, quarterback. 49ers ended up jumping a couple of plenty of slots to get Trey Lance. You know, they were telling the people that it was going to be Mack Jones. People were predicting it was going to be Mack Jones or Trey Lance. I know they wanted Zach Wilson, but there was no way the Jets were going to move out of number 2 because they fell in love with him, especially on the pro day, on the BYU pro day. So, and then after that, Justin Fields was number, I believe he was the 11th pick. And then with the 15th pick, you had Mack Jones. Okay, so without further ado, so let's get to it. So we're going to go stick it out with Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence got pick number 1. Huge stakes. I mean, I don't think Jacksonville had a number 1 overall pick in their history. So them selecting Trevor Lawrence, I mean, it was like the thing was severed for Trevor. They ended up having a 1-15 season, an abysmal season. All right, I'm about to say Marshall, Gardner Minshew, no longer with the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, so now it's the Trevor Lawrence era. All right, can Trevor Lawrence actually make a huge impact with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Well, we'll have to wait and see because Urban Meyer is his head coach, and that guy is all about winning. Any program that he's gone to in college football, whether it's Utah, whether it's Florida, Ohio State, this guy has been a winner. I can assure you that this guy will probably, if not definitely will, turn around the Jacksonville Jaguars, but it will not happen overnight, right? So, without further ado, so look, go on my phone real quick. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's a mistake on my end. Gardner Minshew is still currently with the Jaguars. I believe they were trying to trade him at some point, but, you know, it can happen this weekend. You know, they might be able to flip that for a couple picks, maybe like a fifth round pick, a 6th round pick, you know, just like some gaming type of pick, you know. So Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence is, without a doubt, is going to be the starting quarterback for the Jaguars. There's no way that C.J. Beathard is going to be able to outbeat Trevor Lawrence, all right, especially with him being the number 1 overall pick. It's not like how it used to be where they would sit quarterbacks down for 3 years, a la Aaron Rodgers, but that was a different story. Now Lawrence is going to be starting, all right. I want to see how is he going to be able to react, him losing in a regular season for the first time in his career, you know, because this guy won multiple state championships in high school, guided Clemson to a championship over Alabama. He was also going to be on his way of winning a championship, but fell short because he ended up running into Joe Burrow and the LSU Tigers. But like I said, so let's see what he has with him. So Lawrence, right? He has Travis Etienne as running back, James Robinson, Carlos Hyde, running back 2. Wide receivers, DJ Chark and Marvin Jones, Philip Dorsett and Colin Johnson, along with Terry Godwin and John Vea Johnson. So I'm also missed out Laviska Shenault Jr. So look, not the greatest collection of wide receivers, all right. So maybe year 1, maybe a very raw season. It's going to be a lot of growing pains. Will defenses, you know, try to disguise, you know, coverages on him? I think he'll be able to pick that up after like a couple weeks. Lawrence seems like a pretty bright kid. The one thing that does not resonate very well with me with Lawrence is the comments that he had with an interview saying that, you know, he what's it called? He can walk away from football and definitely be okay with it. I mean, that type of stuff is like he's like the very anti Tom Brady. All right, everything that Tom Brady is, this guy is the anti of it when it comes to what's it called? Mentality, his ethics and stuff like that. His love for the game. That's what I got from in that interview. That's the only thing that I really hold against him. But his play is phenomenal, right? There was no way that Jaguars are going to pass up on him, especially with those comments that he had made during the interview. Some people were speculating he was trying to get out of Jacksonville, trying to go to a better situation, a la maybe 49ers. But Jaguars, they got the number 1 overall pick. They were not passing up on Trevor Lawrence, all right? That would have been a fireable offense for anybody that would have, in the Jaguars organization, to move past Trevor Lawrence and go to somebody else. But yeah, there's a collection of talent that he has around him. He does have Chris Manhertz as his tight end. I mean, his tackles, his guards, his O-line isn't that great. So, I mean, we might see something along the lines. I'm going to give Trevor Lawrence the benefit of the doubt. He might be able to make this a 5-11 team. At worst, 4-12. Well, I'm sorry, because he added a 17th game. So, what? What's it called? I said 5-11. So 5-12 team, 4-13 team. I really do feel like Lawrence is going to be able to. He's going to most likely struggle with, due to the fact that Carson Wentz is in Indianapolis. You're going to have still the Tennessee Titans running large in the AFC South. So I see those two teams being the head of it. I see the Jaguars being the number 3 team, barring if Houston and Deshaun Watson are still having their messy situation. So that's what I think about that. Moving on to pick number 2 with the Jets, Zach Wilson. All right, the Wilson era is full effect in Broadway. He comes in, right, replacing Sam Darnold, and he is, supposed to be the new heir apparent. So comes in with Tevin Coleman as his running back. You have Ty Johnson, and your wide receivers are Jamison Crowder, Keelan Cole, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios. All right, and you also have Vincent Smith. Obviously, way better talent than what Jacksonville has to offer. All right, truly love the signing that they had this offseason of Keelan Cole. All right, I do like I actually really do like the Jamison Crowder. He's still on the team, all right. Better than Bernard Perriman, in my opinion. But with Crowder and Corey Davis, along with Keelan Cole, truly love that 1-2-3 combo for Zach Wilson. He'll be able to make a lot of plays. They ended up getting Elijah Vera Tucker as a guard. Nonetheless, they have Mekhi Becton from last year. So you have 2 first-round picks of people in your O-line from back-to-back years. And they want to protect their prized possession, which is Zach Wilson. I certainly do feel like, even though Lawrence has a higher ceiling and has more talent than Wilson, I think Wilson might have a better year than Trevor Lawrence, just because due to the weapons that he has around him, especially on year 1. All right, Keelan Cole is a big playmaker. All right, like Jamison Crowder. Jamison Crowder has already been there the year before, so he has an idea. Plus Robert Saleh, right? He has somewhat of an idea. He's been around the Shanahans. He's probably gonna try to bite off of the West Coast system, right? They have Matt LaFleur's brother, Mike LaFleur, as the offensive coordinator. So we'll be able to see a little bit of the 49ers, playbook with the Jets. So it might work in the best interest in Zach Wilson. I think that Wilson may have, like I said, better numbers, which may result in him having a higher probability of winning Rookie of the Year. I'm not going to give it to him Rookie of the Year just because I just think that there are other quarterbacks. The other 3 quarterbacks have a little bit of a better situation as opposed to Wilson and Lawrence, right? Lawrence has a higher ceiling, has more talent, but Lawrence has a higher ceiling than Wilson, but Wilson has better talent around him in year 1. Overall, I think Zach Wilson, all right, since we're in a 17 games schedule, I think I really want to give him, give or take, in year 1, 6-11 season, I would say that's very fair for what he has to offer, plus the direction where the New York Jets are going. I just see 6-11 seems like a very, very good number to start off at, and they'll be able to excel moving on forward. All right, especially with Miami. Focusing with Tua. You're gonna have the Patriots. Let's see. I don't think they're gonna do better than. I don't think they're gonna have a huge jump, but I see the Jets being a little bit more competitive, and they may finish off with the third seed. Well, if I say third seed, they might be third overall in the AFC East. I really do believe the Patriots are gonna be still last, considering that Buffalo may be able to own them. They may not be able to own them, but I have a scare. I know it seems like a really far-fetched thing to predict. The Jets might be the third best team in that division. They may be, all right? Just like the direction where they're going with protection of the quarterback. Protection of the quarterback, all right? Moving on forward. So, third overall pick, Trey Lance. Trey Lance got selected by the 49ers. So there's a little bit of a battle, all right? I just don't think that he's going to be able to beat out Jimmy Garoppolo in year one for the starting position. I think Jimmy Garoppolo really has it under control for year one. Year one, I think Trey Lance might be able to sit out. So anything as for Rookie of the Year or anything of that nature, you'll be able to cut that out the window because of the fact that he's going to be on the bench. He's on the bench. There's not really much to say about. As for, look, if he comes off the bench, it might be after week 10, after their bye week. The schedule hasn't been officially released yet, but this is what they got to offer as for weapons. Raheem Mostert, Deebo Samuel as their wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk. You have Trent Sherfield, Mohamed Sanu Jr., Matthew Cole, and Jalen Hurd. So those are the weapons that you have around them outside of George Kittle. And yeah, outside of George Kittle, I know the 49ers ended up making a trade. Well, they ended up getting Trent Williams from Washington, which is a huge pickup. But I think Garoppolo holds it down. Barring injury, I do not see Trey Lance taking over the starting position for the 49ers. I think this might be the last year for Jimmy Garoppolo. Next year, we'll be able to have a better understanding for Trey Lance. But as for this year, I think it's a watch and see type of approach that the 49ers are going to take with Trey Lance. Moving on to the 11th pick, which was the fourth quarterback taken in the 2021 NFL Draft. Yes, Chicago, like I said in the last video, you have a quarterback, and it's Justin Fields. Justin Fields is going to be the quarterback of the Chicago Bears this year. And unlike Trey Lance, right? Yes, Fields will most likely end up being sitting down for this season, but not for the whole season because Andy Dalton's going to be holding it down for, I want to say, up until like week 6. Up until week 6, after week 6, you're going to see the Justin Fields era under control because I do not have high confidence in Andy Dalton. All right, Andy Dalton was granted, he was promised the starting position, but he was never promised starting position for the full year. All right, they ended up going with quarterback because they needed to go with quarterback. All right, Mitchell Trubisky was a travesty, for the people of Chicago, and I'm very surprised that Coach Nagy is still there and Ryan Pace is still there, and you know what's gonna happen with those guys because look, Justin Fields is here. They may have drafted him to buy more time, which is very selfish on their end. But Justin Fields, in my opinion, should have been the number 2 overall pick. But I understand why the Jets ended up selecting Zach Wilson. If you truly love a quarterback, you stick with that quarterback and you go with him, right? Because quarterbacks are very hard to find, and a lot of them, if they fail, they have to go to the next one and the next one and the next one. So the Bears fail with Trubisky. They go with Justin Fields. All right, this kid's most likely going to be sitting up until week 6, week 7, and he's going to take the reins from Andy Dalton. I have high hopes that this guy might be able to, right? If what I'm predicting is correct, he might be lightning in a bottle. All right, with the weapons that he's going to have surrounding him. Where is the Bears? You're gonna have David Montgomery as your running back, along with Tariq Cohen, and you have Damian Williams, right? Damian Williams from the 2020 Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl team. You're gonna have Allen Robinson as your as your wideout number 1, who is phenomenal. Then you're gonna have Marquise Goodwin, Darnell Mooney, Javon Wims, all right, along with Anthony Miller, Riley Ridley, brother of Calvin Ridley, and then you're gonna have Cole Kmet and Jimmy Graham as your tight ends. All right, good weapons to have around, but I just think that maybe Justin Fields, for whatever reason, if he's able to start the season, I'm gonna give him the sure front runner as your rookie of the year for the 2021 season over Zach Wilson. But it really depends. Are the Chicago Bears gonna really keep their word on having Andy Dalton be the starter or not? If Andy Dalton's the starter, then most likely Zach Wilson is gonna be your rookie of the year over Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. And then lastly, with the 15th pick of the NFL draft, the last quarterback taken of the first round, it is Mack Jones, right? Mack Jones being selected by the New England Patriots by Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has a great relationship, a great friendship with Nick Saban, so I kind of saw this coming, all right? Belichick always goes to Nick Saban for, what about this guy from his program? What about this guy from his program? Nick Saban spoke very highly of Mack Jones, and it was a no-doubter. If he was available, Patriots were going to take him. Patriots took him. All right, most likely he's going to be sitting this year, barring if Cam Newton, is hurt or he's just not Cam Newton anymore and he's a turnover machine. Then you see the Mack Jones era go into full effect going into 2021. What he has around him, look, Belichick really made a lot of moves this offseason, and it was like the most money that he has spent in quite some time. So for Belichick to make these moves is to show that, hey, you know what? Didn't believe in Jarrett Stidham. Selected Mack Jones, obviously, with the 15th pick. You ended up getting Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. You have N'Keal Harry, Gunnar Olszewski, and then you have Jacoby Myers. You still have Matthew Slater. Ended up signing Jonah Smith, and you have Hunter Henry you ended up getting him from the Chargers. That is a lot of firepower over there on the offensive side. So I truly do like what you have to offer for the for offense. Mack Jones, I just feel like if he's gonna end up coming into the game, he's gonna coming into the season. I just have a strong feeling that he's gonna come into the later weeks, maybe like week 12, week 13, when it starts grinding down on Cam Newton's body, where Cam Newton's not gonna be able to take all that punishment, and he's gonna be a shell of himself. But I really do have high hopes for Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton finishes it off this year. And remember, it was only a one-year deal. Next year, you're going to see Mack Jones in full effect. It's going to be a passing of the guard, an unofficial passing of the guard from Tom Brady to Mack Jones, just because two similar quarterbacks, not talking about their body frames or anything like that. It's just like you could run the same playbook what Josh McDaniels ended up doing when Brady was under center, and now you could do the same thing with Mack Jones. But look, guys, overall, the quarterback that had gotten the best scenario out of all of them most likely had to be Trey Lance. Trey Lance could just sit a year, possibly two, if they can't find a trade partner for Jimmy Garoppolo, and then go on to starting the position. After that would definitely have to be Mack Jones. I mean, the person with the worst fit, in my opinion, is Trevor Lawrence, right? Trevor Lawrence, even though he's a small town kid, he's going to Jacksonville. Just don't like the weapons around him. Just don't like the whole organization behind him and stuff like that. Zach Wilson would have to be right behind him when it comes to worst fit scenarios. Who I think is going to most likely succeed overall in their career. I do think Trevor Lawrence is going to succeed most likely in his career. I think he's going to go to multiple Pro Bowls. Might have the potential of taking his team to a Super Bowl. All right. Do I think he wins the Super Bowl in his career? Most likely, I think he just wins about one, but that's about it. I think Zach Wilson is going to be maybe the most popular one, just because he plays in New York. He's going to have a lot of flashy plays. Take you to a couple Pro Bowls. Well, he's going to probably go to a couple Pro Bowls. Take you to the playoffs. Will he win the Super Bowl? I just don't see it. All right. Justin Fields, he might be, tied as the most popular player, because Chicago hasn't had a good quarterback in quite some time. Last famous quarterback that he had was Jay Cutler, and Jay Cutler was a stinker. So I think he takes them as far as the NFC Championship game, but Super Bowl wise, no, I don't see it. All right, guys. So that covers everything, on my opinion, on the 5 quarterbacks that were taken in the NFL draft, on the 2021 NFL draft. All right. Until then, guys, that is all. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and tell me what you think about the video. Tell me what you think about the quarterbacks that were selected, and tell me what you think about who's going to be the most successful and Rookie of the Year. So then, guys, I'll see you guys later, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace, guys.